Good afternoon and welcome to episode 25 of Pondering Fridays with Bina. I do have to tell you something. Yesterday I filmed episode 25 of Pondering Fridays with Bina. Yes, I know it was a Thursday, but after basically hitching a ride in the back of a club cab, so not a four-seater bucky, the one with just that stripe where you can maybe put a briefcase, I was lying in the middle there, driving 5 hours from Kloseri to the airport. Yeah, it was a tight squeeze. Luckily, this is when being really short and really small comes in handy actually. But exhausted, got to the lounge and thought, shit, I've got to quickly record the thing. After 7 or so tries of actually uploading it, I don't know, some reason, some god or some angel was stopping me from uploading. Then I checked my clock and realized that it was actually Thursday. So luckily, you don't have to see tired Bina. You see well rested Bina today. Obviously, I want to talk about rhino dehorning and the unbelievable experience that I had this last week. I cannot tell you how not only grateful I am, but how moved I was to be able to get up close and personal with, like, and the words don't, like, I can't even explain, like, majestic. When you say majestic, you look at these faces and you touch them and you feel them and they're warm. But before I get into like the whole thing, obviously rhinos, you can imagine that their skin is incredibly tough. So it is. I mean, it's rough. It's like no thorns or anything are going to go in. Tiny like baby soft hairs, but just behind the ear here. One of the vets told me that I must feel just behind here, and I mean their ear is as big as my face. So I mean, pretty big ear. But just behind there is this one patch that is soft as a baby's bum on both the cow and the bull. And you're like, how is this on like such a big animal? And it was just so magical to be able to touch. I'm doing it on myself. My ears aren't even as soft as the rhino was, but that was just bloody magical. And gosh, so the experience was, I'll maybe take you through, what I went through. I was meant to go in the helicopter, but wasn't able to because there were two young girls from Ibiza who were with us, my dad's family, my dad's friends and his daughters. So they were like, helicopter. So I said, you can go with. And so I jumped on the back of one of the 4 game drive vehicles that we were in. We had the vets in front and we were there. There was a plane and there was a helicopter. And the reason I was there because my dad sponsored the entire thing. And I mean, yeah, he obviously then just invited his kids and his friends, to experience it. So we're there, we chasing the helicopter's like, cool, everyone's on like walkie-talkies, drive faster, and you're literally going so fast in the game drive vehicle, not normally like 30 k's an hour, like looking for animals. This was, I don't know, 70, 80 on like dirt road. And it's like, every jump, everybody's up, you've got cameras flying and whatever else. And then you arrive and they say, okay, animal down, the vets go in, and they're like, cool, everyone can come now. And everyone's like, the adrenaline, you're like, I don't know what to expect because I'm just about to literally go and touch a rhino. So you walk through this little bush, and fuck, there it is. It's like this cow just lying, and they sleep in a very like cute position because their legs are always like tucked under like this, or whenever they lie down, not for very long. But we had to keep shifting and shaping it because they're so heavy, their lungs get what's called, is it bronchial depression or something? And we had to keep shifting her so that her legs don't go dead. Same with the male. And you can imagine shifting the male compared to the female. And it's quick, eh? We've got 20 minutes with this cow until we have to do the reverse, drug to cancel out the sedative. So for a grown ass rhino, you're using 2 to 4 mils of, I forget the name, but 2 to 4 mils of something. So you can use, like, it's a little pin drop and it brings down a rhino that big. They warned us so badly. They were like, if you don't go near the rear until we've removed because obviously like the dart still sticks out. And then the vet has to remove it, clean the stuff and make sure that it's all done. If you get like a pin prick as a human, you die. That's how hectic it is. And no amount of the reverse thing. I mean, once you're dead, you're dead. So, quick. They put the mufflers in the ears. They covered the eyes. rhinos don't work well or produce oxygen very well, so that's why their blood, if you see that, obviously it's like they obviously took some blood samples and DNA samples behind the ear, and that blood was just dripping, and it is like almost black. It just means it's got so little oxygen. Yeah. Well, like it's dark. It's dark blood, and unlike humans that are like just like a nice romantic red. So they laid the sheet down, and then the one guy, Joel, he's the main chainsawer, as it were, but also they're all vets. Literally just measure it, and then they round it off, as you can maybe see in some of my videos. And then one of the little girls, Belen, she's from Ibiza, she painted this like moisturizing oil on so that it just kind of sets. And then that's it. They obviously put a sheet under, because as you are shearing this thing, it's like fingernails, so it's just flying all over. I can't even tell you how many pieces of rhino horn I was pulling out of my hair, and like it looked like a dandruff. It was just all over. So that's that. And then there's a guy from, I forget, but some other board that has to be present at every single rhino dehorning, because it's his responsibility to take these, helicopter them back to HQ of Claseri, and then they send them immediately to Standard Bank in Joburg. And somewhere there's a vault, either on, I don't know, somewhere, but Standard Bank is in charge of vaulting these things. They spray paint them, they cover them, even the shavings, they literally, as they're done, they take this huge tarpaulin shavings, and they literally like try and clear up every little bit. Obviously there's a couple of shavings lying around, but they are like obsessed with getting as much as they can, obviously. So then everyone gets back on, a little bit further away, wake up the cow, wake up the bull, and within seconds they're up, obviously a little bit confused, and they'll be a bit dazed for a couple of minutes, but then they trot off, and obviously without horns. But hopefully it will mean that they will be able to live their whole life. And as you know, horns are like fingernails, and they will grow back. They say by about 18 months' time, what we cut off now in 18 months' time will be fully grown, and then we've got to do it all again. Hopefully I'll get to experience that. But what's cool is that Claseri was the main, almost like the founding team of doing rhino dehornings, and now the Kruger National Park administration is also starting to do it. And I mean, Claseri's seen great reduction in the amount of poached rhinos, because if there's no supply, there should be no supply, there's no demand, and dehorned rhinos can't give these poachers anything. So dang, like the best experience. I'll remember it forever if you ever get the opportunity to do that. What I wanted to talk about as well before I leave is I was really surprised by the amount of people who asked me why we are dehorning live rhinos. And it just made me think that even though these people, like, I think about 15 people asked me, these people are like my peers, as educated as me, if not more, mid 20s to mid 30s or 40s, and it made me question, like, wow, if a very well educated person doesn't understand the premise behind why you would dehorn a rhino in order to save their life, then there's a job that people like me, who are grateful, who are lucky enough to have been brought up in a family whose father is like the world's most obsessive conservationist and naturalist as well. It maybe, the onus is on me to try and educate and teach people like you why we are doing this. So hopefully this little Pondering Friday made you think more about, not only, it's unfortunate that the evil is there, the unnecessary evil, but we took a necessary action to maybe try and fight it until those humans who use it realize that there are other means of getting it up than crunching on rhino horn. I did try and taste one, and they're hard, man. I don't know how they do. I was like, no, this is not. I tasted it. I waited a few minutes. Nothing happened, so it doesn't work. So that is it. Episode 25. Yeah. Hope you have a great weekend, and namaste. I'll see you later. Bye.